What's up, guys? It's Alek, and it's officially been 5 whole weeks since I started my brand new Etsy shop. Since then, the account has been suspended, we've had cancellations and refunds, we've had the payments withheld, and somehow we've still managed to make over $1,800. Now, my vision for opening this store was to create a dropshipping business so epic that one day I'll be able to retire and drive my Lamborghini around. But until that day comes, we'll just have to work with what we have. But in all seriousness, I started out this store so that I can grow it from $0 to $100,000 with as much transparency as I can possibly give, just to prove that it can be done. I'm sure that if you could make some extra cash this year, you'd be quite happy as well. I think we finally got some customer reviews, and that led us to having one of the biggest days that we've had so far, doing about 17 sales and almost $400 in a single day. That's pretty exciting this early in the challenge, and I honestly thought it was going to take a little bit longer to start seeing this kind of traction. This isn't retire at age 16 kind of money, but it definitely is a step in the right direction. There's a lot to go over today. We'll look at what I've done with the product, titles, and tags to bring in almost $2,000 in sales, my fastest method for getting new listings up that only takes a few minutes, and ultimately I'll show you how I was able to generate over $1,000 in sales just over this last week with my brand new store. Now this morning when I checked the traffic on the store, I was shocked to see how many visits we've gotten on our shop. We've gotten over 1,000 visits to our store completely from organic traffic. That means we didn't have to pay for any ads or run any kind of marketing on Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that. Instead, I've just been listing products with keyword-packed titles, all 13 tags, and it looks like just by doing that, it's enough for Etsy's algorithm to drive traffic to our store, and we've had enough traffic that eventually converts into sales. Because we're selling custom items, it means we don't really have to make any designs ahead of time. I just have to list the products for sale as custom items and let the customers tell us what they want. For example, this order was for 14 shirts, all with the same design. I just have to make the design that they want, upload it to Printify, and have them print and ship the items for me. It really is that easy. The hardest part is just getting customers to buy our listings instead of someone else's. One of the best-selling custom t-shirts on the whole website uses this exact strategy. You can see they have a keyword-packed title and different tags also using keywords to cover the maximum amount of searches. I look at what keywords shops like this use, and without copying them directly, I'll use some of those keywords in my own listings to get them to rank and show up on search results. I'm also exploiting the holiday season by offering delivery by Christmas. So just by adding that to the title and tags, some people might find my listings that way as well. Now, if we look at this listing, which is sold about 36 times, bringing in an absolute bag since we posted it on November 10th, you can see the keywords that this listing is ranking for that customers are searching. Some people will search for custom shirt, custom t-shirt, custom t-shirt, custom shirts, and you just have no idea. That's why I try and put all of these keywords in my title and tags so that I'm covered no matter what the customer's searching for. I just have to ensure that no matter what the customers are searching for, I've put those keywords in my title and tags. You can also see that the Etsy search and Etsy app are bringing in all of the traffic, so the only thing that I have to pay for to market my listings is the 20-cent listing fee. So really, instead of having to market these listings, all I have to do is list them for sale and let Etsy do the rest. Now, since we're using a strategy where our goal is to just get as many listings up as possible, it would be quite inconvenient to retype all the keywords and tags for every single listing that I post. Now, I'll reveal the exact product images that I'm using once I hit my goal of $100,000, but for the meantime, to prevent people from just copying my designs, I'll blur it out for now. But the way I avoid having to retype every single keyword is by doing this. When I'm ready to post a new product listing, I choose an existing product that already has the listing details filled out. Now, I didn't realize this at the time, but we actually got a sale live. In this example, a custom mug. And then I just click the little gear icon, and from there I can just hit copy. Now what this does is it copies every detail of the listing into a brand new listing. And once it's updated, then I'll just go and change some of the keywords to make it more relevant to the new product I posted. Then you can come down and do the same thing in the tags section so that it's all congruent and Etsy knows what kind of listing this is. This saves a ton of time because I don't have to change out the whole title, I just have to change a few keywords. And I'll do the same thing with the tags and just change out a few of the tags to make it more relevant to the new product, and then I'm pretty much done. The hardest part is making the first listing, where you have to do a bunch of keyword research and fill out all the little details that each listing requires. But once you have that, you can just copy it, and then posting a new listing only takes about 1 to 2 minutes, assuming that you've already prepared your product listing images. If you want to see how I did that, go and check out last week's video where I cover that in detail. Just make sure you watch that video after this one. Just make sure that each time you post a new listing, you're not posting the exact same thing over and over. Etsy doesn't want you to spam your account, and they could punish you if you do that. To avoid this happening, I try to make each listing as different as possible by offering different prices, fonts, colors, and as many different options as I can, just so that each listing is as different as possible while still getting up as many listings as I can. I mentioned all those tips in last week's video as well, which you can check out after this video. Now, with the huge surge in business I got, I also had a bunch of customers reaching out asking about other product offerings. For example, I had a few customers reaching out asking if I offered hoodies for sale. As soon as this happened, I created a custom listing for hoodies. Even though it didn't end up selling, it could still sell in the future, and if it had sold, Etsy would market this listing super aggressively. It seems like when you post a brand new listing and it sells right away, Etsy will do everything they can to promote that listing to new customers because they think it's a great product. So as soon as the customers asked, I made the custom listings for them, and it didn't end up selling, but I think it was worth the try anyway. So now for how I got 17 sales in a single day, which is completely insane. It's almost as insane of how much it helps me out when you smash the like button. Seriously, it does help me out a lot, and I really appreciate everyone who's hitting subscribe and commenting down below. It helps me out more than you could ever realize. But to be completely honest, I have no idea why this surge in sales happened on this day. It was likely because I had been posting new listings consistently, and we had just earned our first 5-star review. But I'm not completely certain about that. Social proof plays a huge role in online sales. When you see positive reviews and satisfied customers, you're just more likely to make a purchase. This is one reason why Amazon is so successful. You can see at a glance how good an item is without even having to read the reviews. The more positive feedback an item has, the more comfortable you are to buy it, and the more likely you're going to like it as well. It's like an extra layer of reassurance knowing that other people have bought the product and been satisfied with it, so you're more likely to as well. So not only do the positive customer reviews help new potential customers purchase with us, but the Etsy algorithm loves seeing a 5-star review. It just means another happy customer who's probably going to shop on Etsy again in the future. Not only that, but as I mentioned, you can't ignore the fact that it's almost Christmas time. Since we got 17 sales on December 11th, I can't help but think that most of these items were Christmas gifts. Maybe the stars just aligned, but 17 orders in a single day is pretty good, especially considering we didn't run a single ad, and this was all off completely organic traffic. Alright, but now for my favorite part of the video, how much money I made and how long I've spent working on this shop. As of making this video, after downloading all of the Google fonts, making and buying the product mockups, doing all of the logo design and shop creation from episode 1, and pretty much everything up until this point, I've put in about 24 hours of actual work into this shop. That includes getting us to our 45 custom listings that we currently have, handling all of the customer service and fulfillment, and everything. It's taken me about 24 hours to get to this point. There were a couple hours of planning that I did before starting this series, but I don't really want to include that. So for now, I've spent about 24 hours working on this shop. You should see the exact profit and loss on screen, but we've made $1,927 in total revenue. That's from selling 73 shirts and 3 mugs. We spent $209 on fees and taxes, and this is just the cost of doing business. We wouldn't have gotten any sales or even have a shop if we weren't paying these fees. Then we paid $1,404 on all the product and shipping through Printify. That leaves us with about a $314 profit after you take out all of the fees and charges. Now, interestingly enough, since I've put in about 24 hours of work on this project, I've crossed the minimum wage mark, at least here in Colorado, by making an average of $13.08 an hour, which is pretty cool if you ask me, at least as of 2022. While it is important for me to hit the $100,000 goal within a year, I'm trying to keep the amount of time that I spend on this project as low as possible. If you enjoyed the content, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, and I will see you next week.